Lord's my shepherd, I'll not want. He makes me lie in pastures green. He leads me by the still, still waters. His goodness restores my soul. And I will trust in you alone. And I will trust in you alone. For your endless mercy follows me. Your goodness will lead me home. He guides my ways in righteousness, and he anoints my head with oil, and my cup it overflows with joy. I feast on his pure delights, and I will trust in you alone, and I will trust in you alone. For your endless mercy follows me. Your goodness will lead me home. And though I walk the darkest path, I will not fear the evil one. For you are with me, and your rod and staff are the comfort I need to know. And I will trust in you alone, and I will trust in you alone. For your endless mercy follows me. Your goodness will lead me home. For your endless mercy follows me. Your goodness will lead me home.
I don't know about you, but over the Christmas and New Year period, Dorothy and I watched far more TV than normal, mainly because of the limiting of social contact. When you watch too much, you soon discover that some content is good, while some is pretty rotten. One programme we came upon one day, quite by accident, really made me angry. It was about the wealth enjoyed by some people in Dubai. Much of the wealth shown, to my mind, was sinful. People paying like £8,000 for a handbag. This all happening while many throughout the world have absolutely nothing, not even enough for basic day-to-day living. This reminded me of something that I read, the life story of Joseph Hobson Jagger. You may not think you know who that is, but I'm sure you will in a short time. He was an ordinary working man who became rich and famous after a trip to France in 1875. Make up your own mind as to whether his wealth brought him happiness or not. Jagger worked at Bottomley's Mill in Bradford, West Yorkshire. He was an engineer, and his job was to look after machines which produced woolen cloth. He didn't earn much money, even though he was a skilled worker, and Joseph was particularly good at mathematics. His ability with numbers didn't make him a rich man through his work, but it would help him make his fortune. Joseph had heard and read stories about gambling halls in Monte Carlo, what we now know as casinos. And he learned about the game roulette, where the small wooden ball is rolled into the centre of a spinning wheel, dances and bounces around, and as the wheel slows down, the ball rests in one of the numbered slots. Whoever has guessed the right number correctly wins. Jagger was fascinated by the stories he heard about the casinos. In the summer of 1875, he decided to use all of his savings to go and see these places for himself. So he made the long railway journey to Monte Carlo. When he arrived, he spent 3 full weeks at the casino, simply watching the roulette wheels. Because he was an engineer and knew about machinery, he noticed that the spindle on one of the machines was faulty, and this meant that certain numbers were coming up more often than they normally would. He noticed that the numbers 17, 18, 27 and 28 were winning most frequently, so Joseph decided that it was time for action. He placed his bets on his system of numbers. The gathering crowds watched as he won game after game. In total, he won 2 million francs, which by today's standards is just a little over £1 million. Other people were copying Jagger and betting on the same numbers as him, and the owners of the casino became very concerned at the amount of money that they had lost. They were beginning to lose so much money that on one day they had no more money to pay their customers and had to close the casino. And Joseph Hobson Jagger, after that, was said to have broken the bank at Monte Carlo. He returned home a very wealthy man. He decided that he had enough money to retire from his job. His workmates at the mill made him a special key and had it engraved and said that it represented the key to the city of Monte Carlo. Joseph used his wealth to buy property and houses in Bradford and lived off the rents which these earned. The newspapers were full of stories about Jagger. He must have seemed like a modern-day lottery winner. A songwriter called Frederick Gilbert was amazed at what he read, and he decided to write a song about Joseph Jagger. These were the words which he wrote and set to music. As I walk along the Bois de Boulogne with an independent air, you can hear the girls declare he's a multi-millionaire. You can hear them sigh and wish to die. You can hear them wink the other eye at the man who broke the bank at Monte Carlo. Gilbert sent his song to a Londoner called Charles Coburn, who ran music halls, which were the most popular form of entertainment in those times. At first, he wasn't very interested, but as Jagger's fame grew, Coburn changed his mind. He decided to buy the song for £10. It became very popular, and so Coburn, like Jagger, became a very rich man. Most people imagine that having lots of money must be wonderful. Jagger's money, though, seems to have brought him little joy. He died in 1892, and it's said that in his final years he became rather miserable, believing that everyone he knew was after his fortune and not his friendship. He came to mistrust people, including his own family, and in later years simply took to his bed. In the final years, he became a sad and lonely figure. Whilst he had wealth and fame, his money didn't buy him happiness. Jesus knew lots of money doesn't make people happy. In the Bible, he was more impressed by the widow's mite in the collection box at the temple than he was by the rich men giving their gold. He told his followers in Matthew chapter 19 verse 24, "It is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven. The Reverend William Barclay, in his commentary on this passage, speaks of the perils of riches. And he said that riches have three main effects on people's outlook on life. First of all, riches encourage a false independence. If people have ample worldly goods, they're apt to think that they can cope with any situation which may arise. Secondly, Barclay said that he believed riches shackle people to this earth. Where your treasure is, Jesus said, there your heart will be also. If people's whole desire is contained within this world, they tend not to think of another world or a hereafter. And lastly, Barclay believed that riches tend to make people selfish. Many, when they become wealthy, instead of having the impulse to give to others with their wealth, they have the impulse to go on increasing their wealth. It's important to note, though, that Jesus didn't say it was impossible for the rich to enter the kingdom of heaven. Riches are not a sin. We all need money to buy things which we need, like shelter, food, transport, etc. It's not saying that people shouldn't have money. Rather, it's saying that they shouldn't worship it. A verse from Timothy chapter 6, verse 10 can often be misquoted. Timothy chapter 6, verse 10 says, "The love of money is the root of all evil." Not money is the root of all evil. The love of money is the root of all evil. Unfortunately, the people in the TV programme that we watched in Dubai have yet to earn or to learn this lesson.